this too as well. Okay, so here's the plan then for Khan. So in this particular discussion, the goal is to take a look at some of our messaging, take a look at our audience selection, and kind of review some of the data and try to see what we should do for our next pivot. Are you familiar with this idea of what a pivot is?
Yeah, so basically we change our initial plan to modify it actually.
Very good. Okay. So a pivot is actually part of the innovation cycle. You got it correct. So we're going to change some of our plans. We're going to take what's working and we're going to keep that. And then we're going to look at what's not working and then we will pivot away from that. So that is that's kind of like the iterative nature that we can use to improve our our service here. I guess our service right now is awareness service. We're here to try to create the correct communication strategy to generate the correct awareness. All right, let's always begin at the first place. We'll begin from our library, our home document page. And let's take a look and open up the two documents that we can use to understand where we're going. One, I think, is okay, the evolution of the PR letter. And then two is how do we come up with new distribution ideas, right? So I have noticed, by the way, we have another document here called Inspiration for Distribution Post. I think this was maybe we accidentally reinvented the wheel here because these two articles seem kind of similar, right? Let's go ahead and take a
Mm.
look at that and see if we can condense it. We can merge a document together. So this inspiration, okay, all right, interesting. So there's a discussion there. Oh, right, there's a lot of different ideas on what we can do. All right, and some different ways that we can create an audience. Okay, okay, so this is good. I think what we can do is this. We'll go ahead and copy this, and we will put this down as a reference document on this document now. We'll call reference documents. Okay, give that a nice huddle. Okay, all right. Um, why am I spending time on this administration, you think, for Khan? Why is it important to get the administration right?
Yeah, to not making people confused.
Yes, that's because we work in teams now. And the more clear our documentation is, the easier our team and the more inspired they can be. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the current evolution of some of our outreach letters according to each person who sent it, right? So there's one. Oh, okay, all right. Here's yours on June 13th. This is pretty interesting. All right, so this letter begins here and ends here. All right. Do we have any feedback about how effective this letter is? The short one that you sent to Mr. Asnad.
Practically, I didn't really send this letter to Mr. Asnan because I already made the conversation priorly. So yeah, I think it would be quite weird if I restart the conversation by sending this kind of message. I guess it's best if the message is best to be delivered to someone that's already having relationship with us, but
Ah, I see. I see.
a new
Okay,
person.
got it. Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Furkan, bring your microphone a little bit closer. I think to your throat or mouth, because I think there's kind of a skip when you speak now.
Mm.
Try speaking again.
How about right now?
Right now it's perfect. Okay, that's very good now. All right, very good. So, okay, let me go ahead and put a note of that. So this letter hasn't been applied yet, but this would work quite well for a relationship or an established relationship. Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Where's the
Good.
I
Okay.
put already?
That's good. That's good, actually. And that actually, this is actually a good case of where the tool then looks for the place to use it. So maybe what we can do, this kind of inspires a comment here, which is for Khan. Where can we find our established relationships and apply this letter to, right? So that's something we can think about. Right now, most of our outreach is going out to new groups and new places. But we actually have hundreds of existing relationships that we could probably reapproach with this and might even get more successful conversion rate from distribution to applicants. Let's
Mm.
go. Where would you begin your search to find these relationships?
Awareness asset inventory.
Yes, there you have it. Yeah, the inventory, right? So the inventory is where essentially we put down all the existing relationships for now. Going on into the future, after the discussion that we had with Vera, we will organize our inventory a bit better. So yes, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Um, so I'll give you an example. For candidates that we come into Bukit Vista, we have all of these Trello cards that gives us a summary of our relationship with them from the moment that they apply to the moment that they you know evolve along their employment journey. So we have that, but we do not have that yet for partnerships, and that's something we want to improve. That's something we want to fix. Okay,
Mm.
so very good. We'll use this inventory for now, but we will have an evolution to transition to a Trello-based card management system over
Mm.
your internship. Okay, so this will happen over time. Great. All right, so let's take a look at some of these distribution ideas, and let's see what we have. Okay, all right, good, 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 good. All right. So Latifa's already working on this for us. I have delegated her to inventory the current relationships. She's found it, great, and she added a column for last update. Very good. All right. So Latifa's working on this, and this can be a source that we Okay, so let's put Furkan here. Please enlighten uh, Latifa with your new outreach letter targeting existing relationships. Okay, all right, great. Let's take a look at the messaging right now and see what we have in terms of messaging. Okay, so this is, let's take a look at some of the new messaging, Lolita's messaging. What do you think? Is this concise? Does this cover the four awareness wait, outreach workshop? Let's see if I got it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna split the screen so that we have context and learning side by side. So we don't have to remember. It can be all right here. Let's take a look. June 14th, Lolita. How effective do you think that this will be?
Okay, so um, it's pretty straightforward in my opinion.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty concise, and I can say Lolita is very good happening. She's so creative with that, and she's uh, she's good for exposing the benefits part right after the introduction,
Okay.
and also she provide several uh, what is it real corporation real cooperation evident here.
Mm.
As you can see in the universal, she shows us that, and also we would be delegate. We
Okay.
would.
So what I see, yes, I do see this is probably the highlight here. So Lolita has thought very carefully about what students aim to get out of this program, right? So there's work recognition, professional networking, and career advancement. I really like that. So she's speaking benefits right here. She's also demonstrating, this is a really good show, not tell, about previous um, it's a little bit of tell, but it's a little bit of show too. So let's just kind of like give her some commentary here. This is a good example of uh, show not tell, but it could be enhanced, right? I suppose your file should illustrate clear examples of intern achievement. And yes, go ahead, Furkan.
Okay, thank you. By the way, regarding to the benefits that she highlighted there. I guess it would be best if we could adjust the benefits related to what is it, summer school, travel photography, and videography. We could,
Ah, okay, right, right. Okay, Mr. Furkan, would you like to put your comments there? So I think that's a really good point. Please state your thoughts here. Yeah. So more specific, more targeted. You're saying basically, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Yeah, I think that's good. You know what? That's actually really good because the more targeted you be, the the more targeted you are, the more that research cycle can develop. So, what I've noticed a lot of people do when they do this particular thing is they don't develop a relationship with the audience. So they don't know what exactly the audience will trigger on, right? They don't know how to speak in the language that the audience will be receptive to. So I think that's very correct. Let's say, for example, you know that content creators all use a certain website or they have a way to post their professional gallery. So you can say, hey, look, during your time as a content creator, we'll give you access to tools and you can create great work that you can post in this professional website or this forum, right? So, but if we don't talk to them, we'll never know what that is. But okay, I think that's good. That's a really sharp insight for Con. Okay, thank you for that. I'll give you a thumbs up on being more specific. That's a good direction to go to. All right. Does she have a sense of urgency? Yes. Good. Okay. So this is a good CTA. Tells um, the partner what to do. Yeah. Okay. Very good. And what could make it even better, though? Let's see. What could even make it better?
okay, let me see.
Mhm.
If you would distribute the surveys to the summer school students of July to August, um, I think it's not that it's too soft, I guess, to be called as urgent, to be called as having sense of urgency.
Mhm.
And also it's not that specified. The date is not
Yeah. Okay. Okay. For Colin, put your comments in. All right. What are your comments? All right. Not very specific. Right. What would be more effective?
okay. If maybe if I could specify the date, if you would be delighted to deliver the information to summer schools before July. Before
Okay.
July.
Okay. All right. Before July. All right. So excellent. Being more specific. Go ahead and let's go ahead and have you post it on. Yeah. So be more specific.
Sure.
Okay. We could also. There's also
Yeah.
another direction you can go with this. So let me ask. There's another CTA that we could also use that might be even better, right?
Yeah.
We could use schedule a meeting with our team to discuss partnership opportunities, right? Here's why we should have a meeting. So a lot of times people have meetings, but they kind of don't really understand why. It's just a ritual. Like let's have a meeting to have a meeting. If you, let's say, really want to know how to work together with an institution like this, then it's helpful to have a meeting to know what they want, right?
Mm,
There's nothing more presumptuous and more not inspirational than somebody asking you to do things and then presuming that what they offer are benefits. But instead, what we could do is we can offer these benefits to you, but we'd like to have a meeting to discuss what you would want from us, right? And then that would actually then help us not only understand this particular client, but also understand other clients as well. So that could be another way to ask for a call to action, right? So in this particular case, we should leave a link to form a meeting, okay? Um, Perhaps this can be part of our strategy for follow up, okay? let's say, for
Mm,
example, we send out these distribution requests on our first email. They do not get back to us. We can probably send a follow up asking for a meeting if the first message fails, right? So
mm,
we can reclaim some of that efficiency back, okay? Always make it easy for somebody to make a decision, right? I'll show you an example of a really cool tool that we use to schedule meetings here with outside parties at Bukit Vista. So what we do is we generally use this, or we can use any one of these. Let's just use this one. Okay. So this is a 30-minute meeting, and what we can do is we put the link right here. Okay. Actually, we should change it so that it's accurate. Let me change this out a little bit. It's not a 10-minute meeting. It's a 30-minute meeting. What the heck? How do I change this? Okay. So, have you ever worked with Calendly before?
uh,
I forgot.
personally, no.
No? Oh, okay. All right. So it's actually very simple. Oh, here, 30-minute. Yeah, there we go. We changed the link. Save and close. All right. So it's actually very simple. All it does is essentially it allows somebody to take a look and they will be able to see your calendar and they will be able to book slots on your calendar page, right? So let's say, for example, I go on this Calendly link. I can see, oh, all right, if I want to talk with Jing, there's Wednesday and I can pick a slot. And after I pick that slot, it will go automatically onto my calendar on Google Calendar, and then I'll know that I have a meeting with this person, right? So it greatly shortens the time it takes to actually make a meeting with somebody. So this is a very cool startup tool called Calendly. Okay, that is a possible direction that we can go if we want to, let's say, do a follow-up discussion, right? So that's one particular good. But let's say, yes, being specific on the date is very good. Also, where else can we be more specific, Mr. Furkan?
Okay. Mm, I think call to action is pretty clear, so it's not that. I don't see any.
Okay, let's think about this, right? Let's say before you actually approach an institution, you should already know a little bit about where their audience resides, right? Is their audience mostly coming from an email list? Do they get their audience from in-person lectures? Are they mostly on Instagram? So we need to have a framework for understanding where they possibly could reach out, okay? So this is the takeaway. You want to create materials and assets. Assets are what we call digital sort of things, right? It can be a poster, it can be, a post, whatever it is, right? That is ready to distribute. Okay. So instead of asking this person to distribute a job ad for you, you definitely want to have, let's say, something already ready. You could say, hey, look, could you post this on your Instagram by, let's say, before Friday of this week? But then show up with the actual post, right? Show up with actually the formatting and everything, and perhaps even modify it so that it has some branding or co-branding with the institution that you have. It just makes that whole process of sharing much easier, right? So you for a good CTA,
Mm,
you'll have your message and channel fit prepared. Now, you don't want, let's say, a box sort of content going on to email, right? So the box thing should probably go on Instagram if you want to create a picture with a graphic on it, and an email format should look different. But you want to make it even easier, right? So that you can say, hey, I've included basically all the assets that you would need to effectively distribute on Instagram. Would you please share this before Friday, right? So that's a really effective call to action. Okay. Okay. All right. So that kind of gives us at least a direction for how we can innovate on the next cycle. Okay. Sometimes we need to also think about progression, relationship development, right?
mm.
So it could also be this relationship development. Let me see if there's a graph showing that. So okay, all right. This is kind of maybe a good one. Oh, sorry, I got a phone call real quick. Let me take this. Yeah.
Sure.
Hello. Huh? Okay, wait. Give me a second here. Sampai di saya lokasi mana. Oh, hey, you guys there's internet guys outside. Okay, here's another thing we need to think about from time to time, also, Mr. Furkan, which is are we in the correct relationship stage to ask somebody to do this for us yet, right? And sometimes we need to think about that, right? To ask a stranger to distribute a post from, let's say, an organization that they don't know about, maybe that's a little bit too forward, right? So sometimes the first step is not to ask them to do something for you. Sometimes the first step is to ask them to meet with you and discuss about possibilities for collaboration, right? So
Uh,
that can be another mistake that we make in terms of the outreach, right? So has the relationship been set up correctly yet? And does our outreach um, come in the right sequence? Okay. Okay, so this is where the follow-up part comes and builds some credibility. Sometimes people won't do this for you unless they know you, right? It's like the whole thing we were talking about PR. So we need to actually develop that relationship before we ask something of another party. So I think that can be a discussion we can continue here. All right, so we took a look at all these different approaches to messaging. Let's take a look at how we come up with our audience now. So we begin with you, Mr. Furkan. With
yeah.
the internet guy. Okay, please, can you talk to the internet guy, Eka, on this? They're going to put in 150 Mbps, which is going to be amazing. 150 Mbps at the Jogja base. All right, let's come up now with our next set of ideas. Okay, so what do you believe is going to be? Where are you going to find inspiration for your next set of distribution posts?
Okay. So uh, actually, this is what I want to talk. Okay. For my part, I don't know if others got it correctly, but for my part, I didn't do the distribution post for community management intern. So maybe it would be best if we could set people to have a what is it? This kind of practice in the right distribution that
Ah,
he or she is in charge to.
okay. So you're saying that basically we should assign one particular role to one person, right? So that it's consistent. Which role are you currently distributing for, Mr. Furkan?
Currently I'm doing outreach for marketing and business development.
Ah, okay. So marketing and business development. Okay. All right. Marketing and BD. Okay. So are these full time or internship roles?
Intern.
Internship. Okay. All right. Marketing and full time intern. Okay. All right. So how would you go about and look for inspiration on where to distribute next?
See. Okay, I will try to go on LinkedIn. Oh,
Okay. Oh, sorry about this. Yeah, Shailene is pinging me. Something might be urgent. Wait, give me a second here.
sure.
Okay. But yeah, continue talking, please. Yeah.
Okay. So first one, I would like to go to LinkedIn. I find like marketing and business development specialist or manager
Okay.
in certain field like in hospitality of course, but in other hospitality company.
Ah, okay. All right. This part is important, Mr. Furkan. So Generally speaking, we might not actually want to target hospitality people. Do you know
Oh,
why?
why?
All right, this is important. You should know why. Okay, most of the time, most hospitality companies have a different way of thinking about their business model, right? So they think of their business model as like a hotel, a fixed location, and so they're trying to sell essentially a hotel, right? So that kind of experience is very different than selling what is, you could say, a technology service, right? So in this particular sense, it is actually better to start with people who have, let's say, experience in selling software as a service or enterprise business solutions or any of these types of experiences because that is generally more relevant. What we have noticed is this, Mr. Furqad. We are a very disruptive business in the hospitality industry. We are reforming, and go ahead and talk to them. Tell them what we need. I don't need internet here. Okay. We're a very disruptive organization. We're changing the way hospitality is done. So, in general, if you noticed in Bukit Vista, we hire very, very few people with hospitality backgrounds. And that's kind of surprising in a way, right? Um, but it's not. When I worked at Airbnb, the same thing happened. I was shocked that nobody, almost nobody at Airbnb had a hospitality background. Like none. Where did they work before? Oh, hello. Yeah. This is yeah. Yes. Okay, so most of the people who worked at Airbnb and had come over to engage in this hospitality company that was disrupting the world, their backgrounds were at Google, at McKinsey, at consulting firms because they were more thinking strategically about how to fix the industry. The majority of people in hospitality have a really difficult time thinking strategically. The industry has been there for a long time. Most of the processes are very how would I say they're kind of rusty, I would say, right? So they don't really change them very often. So we need people with a different outlook. Okay,
Oh,
that's the first thing. We should probably direct it towards this, right? If you're going to look for marketing, look for companies that do marketing. Let's say in Gojek, right, or Tokopedia. But
mm,
let's try that. Let's try marketing in Tokopedia. Okay. So, okay, this is Hilda. She's vice president of marketing. Lucy, Bobby, Damas, right? These are all people who have marketing backgrounds, and they're the kind of people that we want to have. They're people with strong, technology-driven, innovative. That's the kind of marketing background we want. Okay, we can see already that there's a pattern. These people tend to go to UI for communication studies and ITB for leadership. Now, here's a question. Do we distribute at UI Communication Studies yet?
not yet.
Ah, okay. All right. So that could be a possible, that could also be a possible. Hey, we do, right?
Eh, yeah, actually we do because but in this part I don't know that who is it Latifa I guess doing this marketing manager role.
Oh, so then
I,
we need to know. I think it might be Latifa because Latifa is a grad from UI, right?
yeah, maybe
Okay. All right.
makes sense.
All right. This is being conducted
Okay,
by you right now, right? Okay. All right.
but
So we need to
I actually kind of do it as well.
go ahead for con. Hello. Okay. Well, Furkan
Oh,
isn't.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So actually, I kind of doing it right now. Because um, I actually in my mass distribution system, I mostly use CDC to redistribute my goods.
So we didn't go specifically into the particular
Hello, can you
department.
hear me?
Not really, Furkan. Your voice
I
kind
don't
of
think
goes
so.
up and out. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Furkan, this is what we'll do, all right? We'll stop this for now. I'll let you try to improve your internet connection. And then what we'll do is I'll try to find a time to get everybody together later to discuss about this more in detail. What we'll do now is we'll try to continue the discussion on Slack in the awareness group, and I'll try to engage everybody to dig deeper and find out a way that we can target more. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mr. Furkan will probably try to reload. Oh, okay. Furkan, you're back.
Hi, can you hear?
Much better now. Much better. Yeah. It sounds like night and day the difference.
Okay. Let me continue my part. My point.
Okay.
Uh, Actually, I cannot do like a messages when I distribute Mesli yesterday. Uh I asked her from CDC that we've been in touch to redistribute it to their own faculties. So yeah, that's kind of way that I did it actually too.
Oh, okay, okay. Let's do this then, sir. Let's try this, right? So here's a way that we can go about with this particular case, okay? Let's say, for example, we have a person who has a background. We can identify the department already, right? So we know that we can target, let's say, UI communication studies. We can then go UI communication studies, and we can Google search and see if we can find a professor, right? Okay. And this is going to be our new approach for Khan. We're going to try change the message a little bit. Okay. We're going to message something along. Can we give talks at your classes? Okay. We can talk about communications. We can talk about how to organize communication through the work that we do right now. In fact.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Have you seen our previous communications at schools?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay, here's an example. We spoke at ETB about how data science works in the world of hospitality. Okay, so I gave a talk there at the university, and it was actually pretty well attended. Um, there was about I think 400 people, or no, it was like 300 people, right, in the audience. And since then, it's gotten 132 views again on YouTube. Okay, so basically, this is actually a really good opportunity, and this is how we found Kyla from the business intelligence
Mm,
chapter. So she came as a result of this particular discussion. This type of outreach is actually very effective for Cotton because what it does is it actually gives us a relationship with the professors. Professors are like, oh,
inside
what?
insider.
Yeah, they're insiders, but they're also like reporters. Professors collect content from all over the world in order to create a class for their students. And they love nothing better than not to have to create a lesson plan on certain days, and they can just borrow somebody else's lesson plan, right? But you
Mm,
need to have a strong message. Okay, so for communication studies, we have an incredible marketing team. They have incredible stories, they have a lot of projects. We can talk about that at UI. Okay, we can talk about these particular subjects at UI. We just need to find professors and faculty that will give us access to the students as an audience, and then we can start speaking about it, right? So the benefit of this type of messaging approach, instead of asking for distribution, you instead of just getting job seekers, you are getting people who are interested because they are attracted to your company as a calling, right? They've seen you speak before, they know about the project, and so secretly, there's three benefits to this. The first benefit is that the university gets to have real life professional output from a company that is fluent in remote working and sort of innovation technology with the traditional industry. That's one benefit for the university. The second benefit is it creates a Feynman method, right, for a person at Bukit Vista. So now a person who's working on marketing, because they're going to speak in front of a class, they really need to know their stuff, right? So you're going to help them possibly transform by giving them an audience to really think about how to create material that students at leading universities can understand, right? That's two. The third thing is that you're actually moving the orientation for students all the way to before they even begin their internship, right? So let's say, for example, a student's interested in doing a project. Well, when they come to Book of Vista, they know nothing, right? Not anymore if you get these speaking opportunities. Before they even come to Book of Vista, they know about the project, they know about the goal, they know about OKRs, KPIs, SLAs, and all this stuff, right? So the third benefit is that we're pushing our orientation to begin before the interns even start. And that actually allows more productive internships as well. So there's three real benefits to having this particular approach. Okay, so we can try this as a particular approach. We can target the audience now is like professors and departments, and what we're asking for is a guest lecture. Okay,
Uh,
how do we show and not tell that we are credible in giving a guest lecture?
Provide this link. Do one that.
Thank you. All right, very fast, right? So we can provide this link and show that, hey, look, we've spoken at ETB before, and actually, this just looks like I'm talking by myself, right? I wonder if there is a part where you can see the rest of the audience. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, it's the proof isn't as strong as if you could actually see the entire audience. But this is actually based on how you record. So once you understand the entire cycle, Mr. Furkan, you also know that when you get the video is not just actually for a memento. It's not just a souvenir. The video of this actually helps you get the next guest lecture as well. Okay. All right. Anyways, I want you to try that now for this week. Okay, so we're going to try a different theme.
Mm,
What I want you to do is I want you to lead everybody else along this too. Right. So we're going to switch from asking for distribution posts on job boards to we're going to switch to asking for guest lecturers. Okay, we're going to ask like, can people at our company give a guest lecture at your company to talk about a subject that you'd be interested in, such as whatever it might be. Okay.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure,
Okay.
sure,
All
sure.
right. And that is how we pivot. Back to the idea of pivot. Our pivot for this week is going to be trying a different approach, a different message, and we'll see how everybody responds. Okay?
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Now, Mr. Furkan, could you do this for me, right? Could you educate the rest of the girls in the PR team about our discussion? You can use this video as a way to support that discussion, right? My takeaway is by Wednesday, we should be able to see on this chart where we plan to distribute and different contacts of, we need a list of, let's say, 10, 15, 20 different professors that we're going to reach out to ask for this type of distribution, okay? And we're going to come up simultaneously with a new outreach letter that will ask them in a different way how this should be done, okay? So by Wednesday, do you think we can have that ready before the scrub?
I'll try, sir. I'll try to gather them today first.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now, Mr. Furkan, is I'm going to try to elevate you as a mentor to a mentee in your leadership capability. So I'm very certain that you have good ability to do the task yourself now. I've seen your distribution and it's effective. Okay, so now I'm hoping to challenge you and positively transform you is can you lead other people to do it who are struggling, right? Who are not maybe as fluent as you are on that one. So let's give that a shot, right? If it works, then we can develop your leadership skills. If it doesn't work, then we can see how you feel about it. If you want to continue, we can continue developing you as a leader. If you want to work more on a specialist path, I can help you with that too. Okay? Sound good?
Hi, sir. Back. Oh
Yes.
my God. What happens to my internet connection today?
Okay. So basically, Mr. Furkan, I'm offering you two pathways right now in your internship. Okay.
Hmm.
One pathway is we develop you as a leader. So not so much of how to get the work done, but to create the framework so that others can get their work done. Right. So how to lead a team. So that's why I'm giving you a chance to lead other people. If that works, we can continue that. If not, then we'll focus on how you can do the work yourself and continue your specialist path. Let me just ask you right now at this point, Mr. Furkan, which pathway do you want to explore? Do you want to explore leading or specializing?
Okay. To answer that question, uh for now I would prefer to have some sort of a specialization first because I would try yeah I would try to know more and getting along with these people.
Ah, okay.
But That's a good opportunity too because in my previous experiences I usually take a leadership role. So yeah.
Ah, okay, okay, I can see that. You have good leadership instinct. Okay, Mr. Furkan, that is time for today. Let me know. I'll Slack you, and then we'll figure out a time to distribute this knowledge to the rest of the ladies, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Okay, okay. I'll try to collect the ladies
All
first.
right. Fantastic. Have a good day, Mr. Furkan, and I'll catch you later.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.